I didn't like having teammates. So I just stuck it out with tennis.
You consider yourself the best athlete in the family?
The best athlete that I know. There's the mental and the physical things that come with being an athlete. So it was like literally, I knew this was all, my life was about to change. 10 years ago, 2016, my last year in Oklahoma was the coolest year ever because we made the Final Four in football and in basketball. I was always around athletes at that point. I think it's great. I mean, I can't wait. We're gonna have an NBA team here soon. I was like, this is what I can do. This is how I can help. These are the things that I can be a part of. Again, I'm the best athlete that you've probably had on, so.
Welcome to City Sports Talk. I'm your host, Ro Marquez. Today's guest, a former tennis athlete. She's been all around Vegas, PR specialist. She worked with some of your most famous athletes in the league, from that WNBA to the NBA. Our guest today, Alexis Robinson. My God, Jelani Fuqua. How are you doing today?
Hello.
We gonna throw me on that. Come on, man. See way up here. I'm down here. You can't throw me. You gonna leave me. You gonna leave me. Nah, we good. Thank you for coming to the pod, though. Thank you for coming out.
I like your shirt. Carhartt.
You like it?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Black's my favorite color.
Good to know.
Fits the complexion. But anyway.
So
Thank you.
a little bit about your stuff. You started off playing tennis. You're from Vegas. You went to the Old Gorman, like you just mentioned. But where'd you get off starting, like, with the whole sports scene after tennis?
So I was born and raised here. I am a basketball daughter, niece, sister, cousin. Like all the men in my family played collegiate and or professional basketball in some capacity. So I grew up playing basketball, but I also played tennis. My uncle, a lot of people don't know, John Lucas, was also a professional tennis player as well. And my grandmother on my dad's side, she also was a tennis player. So I started playing tennis once I got to high school and realized that I didn't like having teammates. So I just stuck it out with tennis.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that too, about tennis and how lonely it is. But fun fact though, John Lucas, your uncle?
Yes.
His wife discovered Kobe Bryant?
Him and Gary Charles.
Yes, I know. See, look, I'm gonna get John Lucas.
Gary Charles, Gorman, Fat 48. Yeah, all that.
Did you grow up? You grew up around him a lot?
Yep.
He helped you with your tennis game?
No.
What?
I learned how to do all of that stuff myself.
Because you just said like tennis, you wanted teammates. Like how
I didn't want
you
teammates.
didn't want teammates. So
I like how lonely tennis is.
isn't it like, but and that made you
like it more.
What about that did you like? Do you like more like just the line of yourself?
I like being held accountable for how I am as an athlete. And I come from a big family. We were all athletes. We were all into sports. We all did everything together all the time. So when it was time to choose a sport to play in college, I was really excited that I could go and play one by myself and I wouldn't really have to worry about anyone.
You don't play sports.
There wasn't really a choice. I think my older sister, she's probably the only one who didn't play a sport, but she works for my mom. So it's like we're all
in the business. It's family business.
Yeah, we don't do anything outside of each other.
You hardly think of like how sports is more than entertainment. It's a business. It's a family business, a livelihood.
I was able to make it one.
Yeah, like kind of dope. It's kind of crazy.
So you coming from all them athletes, like you said earlier, you consider yourself the best athlete in the family?
The best athlete that I know.
That you
confidence.
Yes.
Why you say that?
I just think I am.
You know, but you know everybody though.
I know, but I know a lot of people who had teammates. I don't need teammates to be successful.
How was Utah Tech when you were there? And when you were
it was cool. I mean, again, I grew up in Henderson, so it's where all the Mormons that aren't in Utah are. They're in Henderson. So I grew up with a bunch of Mormons. So going to Utah for school, I went with a bunch of friends that I had grown up with. And my mom and my family, they could drive 2 hours and come see me play if they wanted to. So there was always that incentive. And yeah, I didn't want to go to college. I really thought I was going to go play professionally. And my mom wanted me to, so it was a good kind of happy medium that it's like, okay, I can still be in school, but I don't have to care.
Is that why you only played 1 year in college?
I only played 1 year at Utah Tech because I knew I didn't want to stay in Utah, and since I was already there.
But you didn't give it a chance. You were playing though, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
And you was winning, right?
I ended up getting who he's not really my pro coach anymore because I'm not playing on the circuit, but he was my coach at the time, and he was like, if you keep at this, you could really do this either at the Division I level or the professional level. And I met him in St. George, so I don't regret going there for that. But it just aligned me. It pretty much made me more sure that small school wasn't for me. I was supposed to go do something bigger. Yeah.
Yeah. So you turned pro, or you tried to go,
Mm-hmm.
and you had like a couple like amateur.
Yeah.
What happened? Like you just quit? Like you just stopped? Because he telling you nice gonna be the big. You could play on the tour. Like if you stick like
It was really cool. I got to do a bunch of like
Tell about your best. I may cut you off. I may cut you off.
I do. There's two things that like there's the mental and the physical things that come with being an athlete. Once I left Utah and I went to like Nike pro camps. I went to Florida is where a lot of professional athletes get their training done. So me and that coach had gone down to Florida, and I was just basically like doing living circuits down there. And I was really like, oh shoot, this is what I'm about to do. And I started playing. I was winning some, but I was also losing some. And that's when I realized it wasn't even about if this is something that I could be good at. It was, I don't know if this is something that I want to do. Like, I've been playing sports my whole life.
Can't handle an L.
No, I really was just ready. I don't know how to say it in like a like I just was ready to start really making money. And like I've always known my family, my network, my people that I have around me were going to be what made me successful. So kind of when I was like, if I'm not going to be Serena level good, then I need to go do something with the resources that I have. So that's when I went to Oklahoma.
And you went to Oklahoma just to get your like a degree because you couldn't.
So yeah, it was at that time. Well, I couldn't play because it was back then when there were still the rules that once you've competed and then gone pro, you can't. But one of the tennis coaches there is actually Andy Roddick's brother, John. And he was familiar.
Roddick's too?
Yeah.
Was you an Agassi kid? Was you an Agassi kid?
Mm-hmm.
At the club, at the tournaments, all that stuff?
Oh, I didn't go to the...
Okay. She's from Henderson.
But like Rita, his sister, she still trains a bunch of college and pro athletes. I used to be like the hitting partner that would go train with them because she knew I was at least good enough
So you never got the itch to get back in or try like...
I definitely did. But again, it was just, I met Marcus, Buddy, my first year in Oklahoma. So it was like literally I knew this was all my life was about to change. So it wasn't.
That's interesting. Like, why you said it when you first met? Like, what did you see, and what made you believe that your life was about to change? Like, what was that?
Well, being from the West Coast, being a basketball girl, turned tennis girl, coming from a basketball family, we were just talking about the old Gorman didn't even have a real football field, like things like that. I wasn't really a huge football fan. And then I got to Oklahoma.
Oh, how you not a...
Yeah. And I was like, wow, this is a football school. This is not just a football school, but it's a sports school. And John Roddick, because I couldn't compete on the team, he was like, hey, if we house you, pay for your classes, will you be our practice
partner? I got deals like that?
For tennis, yeah. And now you literally can go play pro tennis and then go back to college like with that.
Everything's changing.
Yeah.
All the sports.
It's been like that with tennis now for I think like 5 years though. So it's because it's completely unrealistic there's a lot of tennis players out there. So yeah, so he was like, you can live here, you can go to school here, and all the athletes know each other. You end up being around each other in some capacity. So like Kenny Stills and Aaron Colvin, gosh, I don't even remember.
So you was there when Oklahoma was like, oh man.
It was the best. I tell people to this day that 10 years ago, 2016, my last year in Oklahoma was the coolest year ever because we made the Final Four in football and in basketball.
Yeah, I see, like, and you had bona fide stars. And so
you was at Oklahoma for public relations and sports marketing, or was you there for something else?
I honestly just went to play tennis and basketball. Yeah. Like, I still owe them some money that they think they're gonna get that they're never going to. No. They got a really good student out of me. They got a really good ambassador out of me, to be honest. Like,
So they owe you still.
that's what I think.
Time out though. Wait, time out. Wait, let's reverse quick though. How did Oklahoma find you? How did you find Oklahoma? What was that whole scenario that brought those two worlds together? Because John Lucas is Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
So why you?
And so yeah.
So how?
Well, so I was working, and my sister, my older sister, the one who wasn't an athlete, and her best friend, they were best friends. They're older, like 40, you know, they're best friends with DJ Duffy, who at the time, she wasn't a DJ. She was just finishing playing basketball in Dallas. So I would go to Dallas with my sisters all the time. And that's when Duffy was seeing Drake. So it was like the cool thing. Her and my sisters, they were in like music videos and stuff like that. So I was like, I would go see them all the time. And then once summer was ending, and I was like, dang, I got to figure out where I'm going to go to school, because John had gone to Oklahoma State. It was the next state. I literally was like, I'm just going to shoot for both Oklahoma schools. And I had no idea that John Roddick was going to give me that offer at Oklahoma. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to Oklahoma.
And it was a legit offer. Like, it was just the universe or God just working it out for you. Like, it was no application. Like, you knew, like, somebody, your uncle talked, like, he just like, oh, we're going to do this for you.
The tennis world is a really small world. So like John, Andy, like anyone, my coach is very well known. He's in Indian Wells right now, coaching on the pro circuit and stuff. Asia, you know, was here. She's doing well and stuff. We all kind of know each other in some capacity. So to ask someone to ask a favor of someone, so it's not like weird.
Were you marketing, or were you like, do you have like clients? Your first client was Buddy Hill.
No.
So when you said that's the first?
My first client was probably, I would say, probably John. I guess that would count, yeah. Or Marcus and Markel.
While you were in Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
And so you started your whole brand business while you were in school.
So yeah, how the brand even start? Like, what made you even get into marketing or anything?
So I was going to school. I was having fun. I was meeting and hanging out with all the athletes not here, but in Norman and in Stillwater. And then I would go home, you know, for holidays or something. My mom actually moved to Dallas while I was in school. So I was just a drive away for holidays and everything. I was always around athletes at that point. And a lot of people forget this, I guess, but my John Lucas II, my uncle, he was hooked on drugs for a good chunk of his career. And then he got sober and he started this, you know, amazing coaching career and things like that. But everyone knows that part about him. And it's because he's always had, you know, PR and management. And like, these people have always been around him because of those things that he was doing while he was a former #1 draft pick. So it was something I was just kind of familiar with, that these guys were going to need good people around them.
Like, did you know I want to manage athletes? Like, is that something I actually want to do? Like, how'd you actually realistically get into that part of it?
How did it find you?
It really was just
who said he'll take a shot? Like, how?
Because you don't know that's a job when you're younger, like, right, Lenny? I mean,
yeah, no, I knew it was a job. I just didn't know like what it
entailed.
Yeah, but it really was. I got really close with Marcus and Markel. I knew they were going to the draft, and Marcus would go home to Dallas, and then Markel would go back and forth between Oklahoma and Louisiana, and my mom's from Louisiana. So we've just like, we all had a good like feeling about each other. We had great relationships. So I knew Marcus, he was about to go, you know, like top 10 in the draft. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, we need to do something at least philanthropy driven for you back home in Dallas before you become this big time NBA player. And his team agreed, and so we just.
So what was that? What was that? Why was that important? My bad, I mean, step on you. Why was that important, you thought?
Because again, like I said, it just came from the experience that I saw from my uncle. Like there was so much time, things were so much different when he was playing, and from the athletes that I grew up around, from my cousins, like, just everyone I knew, that it was always a good idea to have some sort of charity and philanthropy project when you become a professional athlete.
Is it? I didn't ask it because I'm like for like future athletes or whatever. You think it's better to have that set up before you enter the draft?
I think it's better to, especially now, because you can make money. So I definitely think you should do it as early as possible, because if you're getting hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's the business side of it where it's a tax write-off. Yeah, all that stuff is tax write-offs and stuff like that. So there's that part to it. There's the ownership of something. There's that part to it. But then there's also you are accomplishing your dreams a lot earlier than you had originally thought you might be. So why not set something aside? And
never talk about that.
That stuff comes full circle.
Well, now though too, like athletes like in high school are bigger than when they are probably ever exceeding the pro level.
Yeah, I think Jet has a
exactly. So, and then the family story behind him and everything. So that's even driven even more. So what takes like a kid like that with all these people coming at him, with all these angles? Like what says like a person like you coming at him to trust you? Like how can they even trust what you're saying or even run with it?
Well, to be honest, I don't work with a lot of people that I don't know. And
That's for you.
Yeah. But when it comes to Jet, we have that trust because I have that trust with anyone who is playing basketball at Gorman. Mm-hmm. So, he wasn't this year, but a lot of people, he was playing basketball. Yeah. And same thing, his uncle obviously is Kobe, his family, they've been going to Gorman and playing in our tournaments. His sisters, I helped his sister get an internship. Like, these are things that I would do for the families of any of our Gorman players anyway. So it just becomes kind of sort of second nature.
So Gorman's essentially like, fraternity all the way up. Like if you go to Gorman, you're like, you have a faithfulness to him for pretty much life.
Yeah,
so
for sure. It's like, Grant is a family friend. I know it's actually crazy. I'm just looking at like 10 years ago, state championships with like, I think that might have been like Zach probably. And then 9 years ago was like Chuck and stuff. But like I traveled with them. I literally made the Gorman Hoops Instagram page.
So going back to that though, you said that earlier that you basically made all the verifications and everything too to get people verified.
Yeah,
how'd that come about?
So one of my really good friends, she doesn't like to be named because she doesn't like people at all.
Yeah, neighbor one.
But I can't. But she was one of the first people who was in charge of verifications at both social platforms. So she started at Twitter and then she ended up at Facebook. And so she was an athlete in college as well. We're the same age, good friends. So she was just like, hey, anyone you know that you want to get verified, like, let me know. And I'm like, yeah, all these freaking guys that I go to school with and I hang around with, this will be a great like thing. And then another one of my girlfriends who's in this space, she works for Dinos. So we were close because, Dinos and Grant do a bunch of basketball stuff together. She was like, hey, Jalen Brunson needs to be verified. And it was while he was at Villanova. And I was like, okay, cool. So he hit me up and he was like, hey, can you get me verified? I was like, do this, this, and this. And a couple of days later, he was verified. And we kept a good rapport. We still have one. He did me a solid. My favorite team is the Mavs, and Dirk was one of my favorite players. So he got Dirk to sign a ticket when they still existed for me right before he left. When Chuck was at TCU, he would have us go to Mavs games and then TCU games and stuff like that. So we would always just, I try and keep good rapport with all the guys, but he wasn't necessarily a client, but I did work for him in that capacity. And he knows that all the stuff I do, if he ever needs it, he can come to me.
So, getting verified was a big thing back then. Now it's like you kind of buy that edge. What's the training now than then?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't because I don't want to do that to
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
but I know the ones that are bought and the ones that are real.
Oh, okay.
Because they still can be distinguished. Like I still have people to this day, especially now, they want their TikToks verified,
Yeah.
which you can't buy. But all the other platforms, you can get them permanently verified where you're not paying a monthly fee for them if you are verifiable.
Oh, okay.
What makes a person verifiable?
Well, I only handle sports, but it requires there to be some sort of recognition in a sport.
Any sport or any form of entertainment. Your specialty is sports, but for anybody, it could be anything.
Yeah, like you have to have like press articles or there's got to be something that I can submit.
So how did you end up working with the WNBA? Like how did you get involved with and then first my bad, my thanks.
No, you're fine.
You have so many all over the place. So you have WNBA clients too as well.
Yes.
And they in the same process. Is it the same process for them as it is for especially being with less exposure and things of that nature? Like how is it working? Like how did you get involved in it, and how is it working with the WNBA athletes compared to like a male sports athlete?
It was kind of like the same thing where it was just like kind of friends and word of mouth. Basically, I hadn't been working in the WNBA previously. De'Erica, she was still with I think they were the Stars, right?
Yeah.
When they were in San Antonio.
Yeah.
And we were friends. And she was like, hey, I'm moving to Vegas. Our team is moving to Vegas. And I was like, cool, I'll manage you and I'll help you out. And through De'Erica, I met a bunch of other WNBA players and Lexi. If you come from like a basketball family, even if we don't know each other, we know each other. So Lexi being a hooper and her dad being Dee Brown and stuff like that, she was in our network of people and she was like, not only do I need a manager, I need an agent. And my cousin John at the time, we were thinking that he should start being an agent. So we're like, oh, okay, cool. This will, be your first client. And then he was like, I'm actually going to go back to coaching, but we're going to get her my agent. And she's been working with him since and myself as well.
So is it easier to build a brand for female athletes or for women athletes compared to men athletes? Like, is it different?
I don't really have it's really whatever to me. It's so simple now.
Is it?
And I really don't do it for anyone or everyone. And the relationships that I've acquired, not just from the athlete side, but from the brand side and from the marketing side and the network and all those favors, I work for clients now that I don't mind cashing in on.
Shoot. How many times do you call them favors out?
Honestly, not too.
Enough. My name speaks for itself.
It's just it helps that, I don't like to go out a lot. So people like tickets, people like, Markel, he makes fun of me because when he was on the Cavs, there was a special edition practice jersey that he signed, but he also got LeBron to sign it for me, and I didn't even think anything of it. And I just wash it all the time, and you can't see any of the signatures anymore.
Yo, you washed off LeBron's. LeBron is trying stuff no more.
But I know he really probably doesn't. I'm worried about that. But again, just different things. Like I've helped his whole family with Bronny and Bryce playing in our tournament. Yeah, they played in our tournaments at Gornaments.
But she worked with. But you, one way, shape, or another, you got your hands on everybody. Bronny and LeBron. Mm-hmm. And how you get in touch with the Jameses and they like
literally what he.
Yo, that's not amazing.
When Bron realized how big the tournament had gotten here and he knew that Bronny and Strive for Greatness were going to play in it. One, they had special accommodations that we had to make sure they were taken care of and security and all that stuff. So I kind of leaded that so Grant and Gary could go and actually like run the tournament. But also,
what's the most unique ask? Remember, I didn't even cut you off. Like they had to like
no, they
nothing like that. Okay, right.
No, and then they would let us put together special social packages for Bronny and Bryce and, just make it cool. I think one of my girlfriends, she does social for Contavious Caldwell Pope and a bunch of people, but she got her first gig working under me at our tournament. And like her profile picture still on LinkedIn and stuff is her in the layup line with LeBron. And so I'm like, that's cool. Like, so that's where I feel like eventually, because he'll be here once he retires and things like that. I'll get him to re-sign it, and hopefully he'll think it's funny that I didn't know Sharpie washed out.
Why would you even wash?
I know.
So the whole AAU scene like pretty much started out here for the most part, like
Yeah.
biggest. But like we've seen so many athletes, but I seen like on your stuff you've seen Melo, you were LaMelo Ball and stuff.
Mhm.
But like when when their AAU came out here, LaMelo Ball and Zion, was that one of the biggest, far as attractions you've seen for youth basketball with them two coming to Vegas? Hype it was.
Yeah, I would say, that, but also people loved the year where we had them on Vegas Elite too. Like we had Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga and a bunch of,
Kuminga, I mean, shit, he was big too.
That's cool.
yeah, his brother played at UNLV.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
him too. So, but I don't think nobody really knew that was his brother at the time. Like that, do you?
Kaminga.
Yeah.
I don't know, I did, so. I knew
Girl, like
their cousins are the Moutiers, so like I've known,
Oh.
yeah, they're a very big family, so it wasn't.
yeah. And then how do you feel like with basketball? How big is growing out here, especially at the youth level, all the way now to the NBA getting here?
WNBA, yeah, their aces, like how did that?
I think it's great. I mean, I can't wait. We're gonna have a NBA team here soon.
But LeBron James don't own it.
Mhm.
So I've been telling her, but yeah, he's gonna be on. They're gonna give him a team in Las Vegas when he.
I feel like in some capacity, I don't know, but I'll have something to do with it. I feel like I have done a good job of like letting my imprint in this city, despite being a tennis player, being like, I'm a source of anything basketball that someone might need here.
You the contact.
I'm one of them, for sure. I mean, it's like
That's pretty.
LeBron and Savannah, when Savannah and Zuri wanted to see the Aces play this past summer. Who did they call? They called me, and I made sure they were courtside. And
Do you chaperone them at the game? And
I don't chaperone them.
They're babysit. It's like yeah, but baby, it's the kind of like you got to make sure they straight, make sure they get accommodated, make sure they go well, make sure like.
But like I make sure that they go through a separate entrance, that they're on the floor.
So what
that
you call it then about a chaperone? Y'all playing with me? What you call it then?
Taken care of.
Yep.
Split a chaperone. Okay, go.
But yeah.
So what entrance was it through? When you got to get him through?
Private. Can't tell nobody.
Summer League, I was on the staff for one of the years, and I actually helped them again with I didn't help them get social media. They've had it when I signed on, but I helped them realize what they could do with it.
Like what? Like what do you when you come into someone's like infrastructure, like when you about to build their media or their media brand or presence, like what's important? Like what can you do with just other than just Instagram? What are you doing? Like you creating videos? What type of videos are you?
Well, there's more than Instagram, first off. So we do it all.
TikTok.
But they all are different. They all matter. They all different. Like right now, I have a couple of my really, really popular influencers who are just regurgitating their TikToks onto Instagram as reels, and I tell them, hey, I know these people who are working at these apps, and Meta recognizes those who aren't putting in effort to make reels. That's why they invented reels, because they're trying to compete with TikTok. So go and just tweak it a little for Instagram, because it's not the same app. Don't put that exact video with the TikTok logo and all on your Instagram. Yeah, they don't. That's what's gonna cause your views to go down, your following to, like.
It's free game.
Yeah, so I do a lot more of that now than starting pages and posting and everything. I used to do that stuff, but now I kind of help with people figuring out how to use each platform.
You like a consultant, like so that's the light right there. Once you get to this consultant level, like you made it, and you ain't even look.
Well, I mean, even your job, like it you could kind of say it's a male-driven sport.
Yes.
How are you dominating that aspect of it overall, like being a woman? And then you're from Vegas. I mean, you got the hustle mentality in you, but it's a male aspect at all levels. Like, why do they trust you and not trust, the man that can get it done, supposedly?
Again, it was the same thing. I'd already started doing what I was doing, and then the BD Global people, I think it's been like maybe 8 or 9 years where they started doing college events out here.
Okay.
And John and Brooks were like, we see this girl on the internet. She has something to do with everything Vegas basketball related. If she's helping out Grant and Gary, if she's helping out Summer League, if she's doing all these things, we probably should get her in our.
Yo, you live in your brand. That's pretty.
Yeah. So that's literally what happened. John cold called, maybe emailed. I don't remember exactly how he communicated, but he just reached out and he was like, hey, we're putting on some college basketball events and we want you to be a part of it. And I was like, this is what I can do. This is how I can help. These are the things that I can be a part of. And it was part-time at first. And then when Duke and Zaga came here and ended up being the biggest, basketball game that's still been held here, we started working together more often. I travel with them now. I go to the Bahamas with them. They do multiple sports. They don't just do basketball. And again, it was the same thing where they realized they could have more partners. They could have better teams participating in their events. They could have more events if they learn to amplify themselves and their brand and all that they're doing. And that's what I'm helping with.
What keeps these I mean, we all know basketball is made for this city, but what keeps the Mountain West try to leave, do a tournament elsewhere, and it got brought right back? What keeps all these tournaments staying here and progressing every year as far as numbers go? I mean,
Right.
The only tournament I feel like ours we do is Big West, and I think they once the opportunity was given to come here, but to come to Henderson in that new arena, and it could just be something fun for, the folks of Henderson around town to do. That's where I feel like they did a great job. Some of the other ones, I don't know. I mean, I think, is Pac-12 back here?
Yeah,
If not, they'll be next year.
they
So
keep on coming back, no matter what, they always come back, all these.
at the end of the day, you still need locations.
Location, but Vegas is like central.
There's still, there's I think SEC women's coach today who was complaining about their conference tournament not being in Atlanta, but being in Duluth, which is 30 minutes away. But it's because of facilities and locations.
But they always felt too like UNLV had the advantage being here, but UNLV hasn't won it in years. The Mountain West tournament. So,
UNLV is too.
Well, I don't know what happened. They were supposed to be. They had so much
Ron Kruger left it.
Lon and I left the same time. We got a bit. Lon's my, Lon and I are like.
For Budgie was, you got all that, but as I was saying, ever since then, we had the back-to-back then, but I felt like he left kind of when we were at the kind of.
Well, they should have. I mean,
more.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to pay none of the
That's
coaches.
true. I mean, that's a bottom line, right?
Yeah.
And hey, I'm not complaining because we went to the Final Four. So.
To every bit of
So, how do you get involved with BDG management? How does that even?
Like I said, they literally they were just like, hey, this girl she has her hands in everything basketball related in Vegas. If we're going to put this event on here, let's call her.
You can't get discovered, bro. You're not getting discovered. The new Arrival League. Do you help? No? You're not. Not feeling the piece.
There's just a real vision. No, I love what they're doing, but the two athletes I have are playing Athletes Unlimited, which started here. Another thing that started here, and they called me and they asked me to do PR for the league when it was here. And that's how I ended up meeting a couple of other players. And Lexi was on the committee. She's still on the committee. And we were just recruiting people. Alicia plays Athletes Unlimited now. So I don't really.
So Athletes Unlimited is going to be.
It's back. It's in Nashville permanently, I think. Yeah. Which it's been really fun there. It's cool, yeah. Nashville, they need more sports there.
Nashville's fun.
That is a great sport town.
It's just like here, but for people who like cold, so it's cool.
It's cold desert,
Yeah.
Cold desert. But so with the WNBA going, especially with their CBA negotiations going up, and might have a lockout. These other sports league these other sports leagues, like does that affect the branding, the marketing for the players as far as like them jumping from league to league, being seen, going overseas? Like does that all go into part of that building their brand? Does the brand stay away from them? Like how does it, like when you get a player that leaves and goes to like what is that?
I honestly, I don't really work with
Okay.
overseas players anymore. The only person who I work with overseas is Liz. And despite her being overseas, she's still the highest paid female basketball player in the world.
Crazy.
She is still very much a celebrity. And I don't ever have to worry about her because everywhere she goes, she's taken care of because she's a very, very good basketball player. So all the organizations that she works with, like, they make sure she's good. So I really don't stress.
Yeah, whoever work with you touching money is kind of, she the highest paid still?
Yeah.
Female basketball player?
She doesn't even probably want to come back to the WNBA, right? Like
We were talking her into it, but it would have to be after these negotiations. I think she should finish here. She lives here. This is where she lives in the off season, and she has done too many things. Like she's broken records. She's done things in this league, and she left on a sour note. So I would love for her to finish one season and just remind people that she's still a very, very good basketball.
She was a big deal though. She was a big deal. Like, but she just deserved that just for the matter amount of like attention, revenue, eyeballs. She brought a whole nother nation, which is a whole nother market to WNBA. So I mean, she put in her work.
what's it gonna take? I mean, of course,
I joked with her and Kyrie like over All-Star about
Australia.
them playing for the Australian national team. I mean, they can.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
They're never going to play for the U.S., so
Oh, Kyrie can forget about it, right?
Yeah, they
I think it would be cool.
you should though. You should just kill you.
what's it gonna take for? I mean, we all know it's gonna come down to money, though. What's it gonna take for the WNBA players to stop having to play these other leagues? Because NBA players don't gotta go play in G leagues or like any other.
Oh, yeah, no.
So what's it gonna take for them to actually solidify a good contract and get them to stop doing this to them?
27%.
Yeah, it's that whatever they're asking for. Like, and
That's probably not like a lot what they're asking, right?
I
mean, consider like what it is.
Well, they just had to give back $100 million.
yeah, it's all so complicated that
Sounded like
one of my clients, she's the vice president of the Players Association, and I just like literally ask her every now and then, is there anything you need from me? Or, this week we had a marketing obligation she had to do. So I'm like, is there anything I need to keep up with? She's like, no, I'll keep you posted. We have another meeting this week, blah, blah, blah. Cool.
See, I don't think so this now would be a busier time for you, like with certain athletes, like especially like going to negotiations, got to find other avenues to make money for them. So they probably want a bigger social media presence and all like
And I mean, they are taking because like I said, since the Olympics, after the Olympics, I kind of felt like I had hit a pinnacle when it came to marketing. So I wasn't doing as much. I was just basically focused on our BD Global projects and anything I could help with Travis and the gang and stuff. And I was taking up enough of my time. And then after this past summer, I was like, okay, I mean, it didn't help that my cousin was now coaching for the Aces. So it reminded me like, oh, dang, I have all these opportunities that I could just take, for my NBA clients or my NFL clients that they don't want to do them anymore because unfortunately, anything below $1, $2, $3 million, Travis is not going to look at anymore.
don't say
He doesn't have to.
Don't say that.
But that's the truth, So there's those opportunities. There's things that you see some of these other athletes, they're going to New York and they're doing all these other opportunities and everything. Alicia and I just talked about, now that your AU season's over, maybe we should go to New York. So we're thinking about that. Lexi came back for All-Star weekend really quick before she had to go finish AU and stuff. So we're doing those things. And I even told Liz, you're making great money DJing and playing basketball, but we need to occupy your time here in LA and maybe start on some different projects. So all that stuff's like coming to fruition.
So is Travis Kelce like one of the bigger names you like deal with and
They
stuff?
biggest. We mean no bigger than that.
He's not the biggest.
Who's bigger than Travis Kelce?
I just feel like,
Who's bigger than try to answer the question?
I mean, is Kyrie, no? LeBron. I mean, I've
Okay,
worked
LeBron.
with,
Okay,
I've worked
all
with
right,
LeBron,
okay,
and I've worked with Tiger
You didn't
Woods.
say LeBron. You didn't say okay. That's just
Yeah, like I genuinely, like, Travis isn't the starstruck. Like, I don't get starstruck.
But that's about that. Why you go ahead?
No, I'm just saying because you know, with him with Taylor Swift and stuff, like it's bringing more attention and everything. So
Yeah, but nothing's changed.
So when you say like his earning potential now, like he turning down if it's less than 2-3, he ain't gonna look at it, whatever.
But that's a few of the guys.
That's
though.
a few, yeah. So where I'm going with that. So while a player is playing, like wouldn't you advise them to maximize on their earning potential while they can? Because once they retire, these companies ain't gonna be looking offering 3-4 million. And you hear so many stories about athletes. Like Mayweather's about to fight again, for instance. Like he ran through $1 billion. Like that's kind of crazy. He got to fight again. But so when you think turning down those 3 millions adds up to like 15 million. I mean,
but you put yourself in a position where one, you're smarter than that, and you don't make like, again, I am not like a lot of other managers and agents and all these other teams that athletes have, because I am very family oriented when it comes to not just who I know in this business, but how I do my business. So for Super Bowl, when it was here, Travis and the boys, his team, they stayed at an Airbnb that was a family friend of ours. Like just little in Henderson, just little stuff like that was not going to get outside of the circle. So I don't worry about those things when it comes to anyone that I'm working with as far as making those type of mistakes. And I also don't think that anyone needs to put themselves in the position to do something they don't want to do.
bottom line,
Yeah.
bottom line. No, because you just hear numbers like that. Like, yo, he turned out 3. What? To do what?
well, that's
30 seconds?
that's a little to bear. I know. I'll tell you.
I like.
We be a few $100,000 a lot.
And some of this stuff is like, I mean, you have to think.
That's the brand. Go ahead.
Yes, it doesn't match. It's tacky. It's
Tacky.
some of it's not good. Like, Kyrie had a very, very successful Nike signature shoe line, all that stuff. And he expressed a political opinion that changed the complete trajectory of how his outside of basketball career was going. And granted, it's been amazing. Like Anta is,
It's everybody they fight.
Yeah.
They lot better up, a lot more personality, like less
Yeah.
flavor. Like he can hit a lick wherever he got that. Like that was y'all.
it's amazing.
His
And
team around him, y'all doing good. Y'all doing great.
that wasn't me, but
I said, build a team around.
but like I'm proud of, like,
Right.
again, Kyrie is someone who I met here when we were kids. He was playing here. So to see the growth of him, his business, he, even though I know he probably doesn't want to, he takes it more seriously because he knows, especially with this injury, that his career isn't as long as it was back then. So he's making all of his outside of basketball moves, and he's making them right.
But he never been no issue though. Like he's
Correct. I don't think he has, but there was like a good chunk of.
We gonna say that
He went through a whole,
I've seen it.
and it's still crazy to think.
like, and it only worked out for his benefit though, so that works bad. So can't help but be proud. Excuse me, I'm sorry.
So you being a media and everything, being able to touch like everything, what's it take like for even like an upcoming person to even get media access like that, or get like press passes to be able to get in some of the venues like you have, or get in front of people like you have at an early stage in their career?
I don't necessarily have like exact answers for things, but I always am like welcoming to the questions. So if there's someone who's trying to get in the business, or if there's someone who needs a press credential, or like I said, those are the times where I'll either be like, hey, just come with me, or let me phone a friend, let me call in this favor and do this now.
It's gotten more stricter with the access now. With
Not to me,
What's consistent like a press credential? Like, what does it take to even get that type of thing?
a platform, a consistent platform, and there's the whole process to
Giving out free game.
applications. Really?
Yeah, you think it's nothing, but other little nuggets he dropping in there.
Everything you want to go to, they either have it on their website or they have a PR person where you literally say, can I request media credentials? And sometimes it takes long. Neil and I from Ball Dogs, we still laugh because Ball Dogs just started getting credentialed to things for the longest time up until maybe last year or the year before. They had to find tickets or,
Really?
buy tickets.
How long have they've been established?
I have no idea.
Okay. Been a minute though, right?
Yeah.
My fault. I didn't get that spot like that.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
So what's the next stage of your career, you think, after
Kids, you don't want to just trying to settle down. She does.
you want to do something else besides this, or you just sit back and go off in the sunset?
I honestly love that BD Global is doing things not just here, not just in Kentucky, Nashville, Dallas. I love that we're doing so many things in the Bahamas, and I love that we're doing different things in the Bahamas. It used to just be preseason college basketball. Now we do fantasy football. We do college basketball. We just did a golf tournament. We just had the first Division I baseball game in the Bahamas this past weekend, a couple of days ago. And we have such a good relationship with the entire island, basically. And so they're all open for our ideas. I was just talking to Clay at the Anta event about how but yeah, we were talking about, I was like, yeah, your dad wants to throw like a charity pro-am golf event in the Bahamas because that's where they're from. And he was like, yeah, and you guys are going to run it, right? And I'm like, exactly, so it's like, it's cool. That kind of stuff I'm down to help with. I think that Trav will have so many opportunities when he's done playing football. He's had an amazing football career, but he is a great guy. He has a lot of talents, and he has a great circle. So all of the guys around him, they're all talented. They all have great ideas. There's something there as well. So I don't know. I just genuinely, I am glad that I don't have to report to games at a certain time and post. That's what I'm.
Days over with. That's how life was in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That was the
like we were
struggle of the
I still talk about like I said, my friend who does the verifications, Taylor Rooks. She was definitely like the
star now. Yeah.
She was the reporter who was just asking, hey, can we get credentialed to this, and this? It didn't matter. She wasn't getting paid, nothing like that. And I was posting, and that's like there was like a core of like 5 to 10 of us who really were in the thick of when this all started. Yeah.
So now, dang, that's so dope. And all y'all still in the same in the media space?
No, we switched it up a little. Like I said, I've switched it up. My friend who was doing the verification, she switched it up. She's a full-blown NFL agent now, and she's one of the few females.
So she feel y'all all still in.
Yeah, but I mean, it's
full-blown.
Yeah,
agent.
Yeah,
Football.
One of few, and she's got NFL clients. So like, I'm super proud of her. I'm obviously proud of Taylor. I'm trying to think some of the other girls.
Y'all been doing now. Yeah, y'all doing it good. Y'all infiltrating football. Y'all better take over a lot of them jobs like as needed though, like
front office, things like that. My business partner, Sydney, she has a ton of stuff going on. But when we were really doing this all together, like prior to the Olympics, all the ideas that we would come up with, the women in sports dinners and all these things have grown into something outside of our capacity, but we love that. And we're going to try and, her brother, Nolan Smith, is coaching and doing a great job. My cousin Jay is coaching and doing a great job. So we're going to try and figure out if there's something we can do for the younger college coaches and some recognition come Final Four. And I think that's a project that I'll work on. But honestly, like the ideas that BD Global has and the things that we want to do in the Bahamas and all that stuff, I'm excited for. Yeah.
Shit.
Right?
Are you gonna have anything to do with the Olympics going to LA?
Oh gosh, I hope not.
Oh, right now, man.
I hate Los Angeles.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I don't miss about working in like television. And that's honestly,
You a TV star too?
no.
Working in television.
I honestly like, I'm surprised I'm doing this. I really don't like
thank you.
being in public capacities. But the like once the Erica went to the Sparks and like things like that, it's just I really don't like Los Angeles. So
It's changed a lot too, especially from
oh yeah, since COVID, yeah.
Well, especially COVID hit it hard.
You know, I'd like to conclude the episode. I'll thank you for coming out. You're one of like we've been trying to get female guests on forever, different point of view, and then you being like directly from here and knowing.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Yeah, that's it. They really think like we just it's especially when it's too like just coming out in the middle of nowhere in Las Vegas, like just come to this. Yeah, I understand, but we really appreciate that, First Lady. For the pod, that's a big coach, baby. We've been trying so hard. You don't understand, like
Wow.
you gotta get female. Man, what she used to play don't matter, man. Just bring her, just get her, man. Just get her. So yeah, thank you.
Again, I'm the best athlete that you've probably had on, so
I believe you.
I believe
you. But I believe you too. But you didn't finish the story when I asked you like why you quit because of you facing adversity with all them L's. But
it really wasn't that.
that's what it was. We quit when we.
It really wasn't that. It's just you have to really have a love for playing something professionally, and I can admit that.
You're not a hard worker.
No, it wasn't that. I just did not love
You
it.
work hard. You must say you work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, though.
Well, yeah, well, thank you for coming out and see you guys on the next one.